Hello, YouTube.
Hey guys.
My name's David.
I'm Andy.
And this is Life is Dandy.
Yes, it is.
And today, we're going to be talking about resolving conflict. So we're just going to be talking about how we deal with conflict in our relationship.
Yeah.
So how do you think we do?
For the most part, pretty well.
Yeah.
I would even say that you are probably better at it than me. Because, as we established in our last video, I can be kind of a drama queen. And I'm not always good about talking about what's bothering me.
Yeah.
So it takes me longer to process my feelings and communicate them in a way that is actually productive to solving a problem.
So when you're upset, is it you're too upset to talk about it at first, or you just want to approach it in a way that's good? Oh, that's rude.
Well, I would say that those kind of sound like the same thing to me. I know that I'm too upset to start talking about it without just being a bitch, basically. So, I want to wait. I want to wait until I can talk about it and be civil, you know?
Yeah, I get that. I think usually I wait too to talk about how I'm feeling.
But I can always tell when you're...
Can you?
Yeah. You just seem off.
I was gonna say that I think I wait for a different reason. Cause I'm never upset enough to really go off on you or say anything hurtful. So I think for me, it's more if I'm upset, I'm gonna think about it, and I'm gonna think about why I'm upset and why I'm right to be upset, so that when I approach the argument...
You're building your case
Exactly.
against me, and then I'm not ready, so you have all of your ammunition.
Well, supposedly you always know, so you should be building the case while I'm building the case.
Well, I can tell that you're off. I don't know exactly what's wrong. I don't know if it's something I did or if you just had a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it bothers me when I know that you're off and I know something's not right, and I want to get to the bottom of things, because it frustrates... It doesn't frustrate me, that's not the right word, but it bothers me knowing that there's something wrong with you.
Most of the time, if one of us is upset, like you said, you can tell when I'm upset. I can tell when you're upset.
Yeah.
But I start to second guess whether or not you're actually upset or if it's me, because I'll ask multiple times, hey, what's up? What's wrong? Are you okay?
Yeah.
And
me being me, I never give a straightforward answer in the moment. So I kind of leave you to sort of guess at it.
No, you do. You give a straightforward answer. It's just I'm okay. That's straightforward.
But you know what that I'm okay means, which is perceptive on your part. But after we have our little waiting period to actually talk about what the problem is, we always do talk about the problem. I don't know that we've ever had an issue that didn't go resolved past the night of whenever it happens, because we don't want to go to bed pissed off at each other. So the latest it gets is we're in bed ready to go to sleep, and then we feel we have to talk about it to get over it before we can actually sleep.
Yeah, I would say usually that's how it happens.
Yeah, and it always gets resolved.
Right.
So once we're able to put our thoughts and feelings into words, and we're able to verbalize the problem, we're good at communicating with each other and trying to understand where we're both coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think generally, if there's a time where we're both upset with each other, really what ends up happening is one of us sort of puts that aside to help the other person get over their being upset, and then we'll talk about the other person, afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of times in a relationship you have to put the other person first.
Yeah.
And then, through helping them deal with whatever is upsetting them, you can, reconnect and then talk about what is upsetting you.
Yeah.
And we do that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot. I mean, we don't argue a lot.
We fight all the time.
Yeah. I can't even, I don't even know what our biggest argument was.
What do we fight about? I think, honestly, most of where our fights stem from is, indecision. Because that's one thing I will say about us that doesn't really work in our favor, is that we're both very indecisive people. And part of that is just because we are just considerate of what the other wants. So it'll be like a back and forth of, well, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know, I want us to do what you want to do. Well, I don't want to do that. I just want you to decide. And I'm like, no, I want you to decide. And we don't decide anything, and it just gets frustrating.
Right.
And it's just an endless cycle of despair.
Yeah, so I think really when we're resolving conflict, we focus on the other person's opinions and their feelings. And it's not just caring enough to consider the other person's feelings, it's caring enough to put your own aside in order to do that.
Yeah. Because when you're angry and you feel like you've been wronged in some way, shape, or form, you don't want to be sensitive to the other person. You want to be angry for yourself and figure out all the ways that you're right and the other person's wrong, and
Right.
you deserve for the other person to go the extra mile. But that's selfish thinking.
Right.
Even though it's human, it's selfish. I feel like we could be better at not bottling our feelings, because it's good to wait until you feel like you're in a better position to respond effectively.
Right.
But if you wait and you need to talk about something, sometimes it comes out anyway in a passive-aggressive way. What I want is to not be so afraid of confrontation, because in order to move past an issue, you have to have that confrontation in order to have a resolution to a problem. And I would like to be able to handle those situations better without being a bottler.
I think similar for myself. It would benefit us to talk about things sooner, I think.
Yeah.
And for me, I know, I already said, that I tend to think of, reasons why I'm upset first. And it's good for me to do that because it's good for me to know why I'm upset, you know?
Right, but you should try doing that without being a lawyer and coming up with all the ways you're going to prove that I'm wrong and you're right.
Right.
And have it being a court case.
Well, and in doing that, I'm only making myself more upset because I'm proving to myself that I have a right to be upset.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
You're just getting yourself all fired up and
Right.
ready to fight me.
That's not healthy. See, we're very good at resolving conflict.
Yeah.
So basically, to summarize, we're good at resolving conflict
Yeah.
because we're not afraid to talk to each other at the end of the day. But it's bad because we let it get until the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why I started laughing right there. I don't know.
Okay, so bottom line, talk to each other, communicate, care about the other person's feelings enough to put your own aside, at least temporarily, because there's always time to deal with your own feelings. But if you ignore someone else's, you might ignore them too long, and it might be too late.
What'd you say about ignoring somebody?
Alright,
Okay.
we'll see you guys next week.
Yep, see ya. I'm gonna be done with this week.
Bye.
This video. No, that was a bad outro. Let's redo that. Jesus Christ, why do I turn in like a bumbling idiot whenever we start recording a video?
Oh, I don't know, babe.
I forget all the words that I've ever learned, and I lose all ability to construct a sentence properly,
Okay.
and it just comes out like shit.